Greetings and welcome. Today we're wrapping up our series of weekly devotionals, taking a look at some verses in chapter 8 of Paul's second letter to the Corinthians. You know, in our church, I've been to enough stewardship and finance meetings to know that our financial statements are not always the easiest to follow. We have lots of different accounts within accounts, and we don't always follow the most simple way of accounting, I think. And as someone who is not an accountant but has taken some accounting classes in college, it seems that things ought to be a little bit simpler. When it comes to accounting, it seems to me pretty basic. You just balance the books. The numbers on one side of the ledger should match the numbers on the other side of the ledger, and if you do that, well, everything is copacetic. And of course, that's the goal in other organizations, in our federal budget as well. Politicians often boast of their ability to balance the books, and we live sort of in that kind of a world where we want things to even out. We live in a quid pro quo world. If you do a favor for me, I do one for you. We balance the books, and everything works out fine. And Paul writes about balancing things in some of these verses. In this matter, I'm giving my advice. It is appropriate for you who began last year not only to do something, but even to desire to do something. Now finish doing it, so that your eagerness may be matched by completing it according to your means. For if the eagerness is there, the gift is acceptable according to what one has, not according to what one does not have. I do not mean that there should be relief for others and pressure on you, but it is a question of a fair balance between your present abundance and their need, so that their abundance may be for your need, in order that there may be a fair balance. As it is written, the one who had much did not have too much, and the one who had little did not have too little. For Paul, the most important balancing is between the desire to do good and the actual doing of it, the abundance that we enjoy and the giving of that abundance for others. You know, in our churches, I think we often live by the ethic of the world, where we live by this notion of faithful calculation. We want to know before we give something that we'll get something in return, that we will get a desired return for our giving. But how to calculate the life-giving power of God? There's just no way. And for Paul, it's less about balancing the books and more about responding to need. And for Paul, balancing the books is much less about counting and all about giving. Amen.